Okay, so before we do day 2, I do want to review day 1 notes to make sure that we're on the same page. We're going to do the same steps we did before. We're going to start with standard form because we're going to factor those problems. We need to do a standard form. And here's how I normally do the steps. We do standard form, which looks like x squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. And then we do GCF. Well, we do that using the ABC values. So you identify A, B, C for the X puzzle. And today we're going to add another step to it. We're going to stop here for now, at least for these questions. So this one is not in standard form. I want to put it in order first. So you need x squared first. So x squared is first. It's already on the side it's supposed to be on, so all I have to do is move it. But then I need the x. Notice how the x is on the other side of my equal sign. So when I move it, I need to change the sign. My 30 is my constant. That one did not move, so it stays with minus 30. Now I have a 0 because the 9x was gone. That's my standard form, and now we're going to do GCF step 2. For step 2, I do factor trees. Notice my 3x squared has an x, my b has an x, but c doesn't have an x. So there's no common letter, but I can factor out. 3 is 3 times 1, 9 is 3 times 3, and 30 is 3 times 10. So they all have a common 3 that we're going to take out. And we're left with 1x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now, using what's inside of my parentheses, I have A, B, C. For the X puzzle, on top of it, we have the addic. Addic is A times C. On the bottom, we have the basement. Basement is negative 3. And then we have to find the two numbers. When you multiply these numbers, you get negative 10. But when you add them, you get 3. The best way to do it is to guess and check. So you do a factor tree for 10. You look for 10 on your multiplication table. 10 is 1 times 10, 2 times 5, and then you play with your negative signs. Because my answer is negative 10, one of them has to be negative. Negative 1 plus 10 is 9, which is nowhere close to my negative 3, so I know that one's not going to work. And then I try with the other one. Try negative 2 plus 5, that's 3. So it's the same number, but not the one I need. So I'm going to change my signs, positive 2 minus 5, and that gives me the negative 3 that I'm looking for. So again, you have to guess and check sometimes, that's fine. Just make sure you're trying, you're guessing and you're checking. Keep going until you get your answer. So now we put the answers in parentheses. Set my factors equal to 0, and not forget my GCF goes at the front. There's my answer, y'all. It looks like a lot of work, but we get used to it and we'll be fine. Question 2 is also not in standard form. We're going to do the same steps, even though it looks very, very different. We're going to do the same steps. So for standard form, draw my line, move my 9, x squared minus 9 equal to 0. We're good to go. There's no GCF because here A is 1. This is B. No, this is C. It has no X, so it's C. There's no X, so there's no B. B is 0. Set up the X puzzle like we did before. On top is my addic, so I multiply A times C. On the bottom is my basement, so it's my B value. And then you play the game again. What can we multiply to get negative 9? What's 1 and 9? And even if I make one of them negatives, I get 8, which is nowhere close to the 0 I need. So we're going to try some other numbers. Let's try 3 and 3. It's the same number. It doesn't matter which one I make negative. And look, I get 0. So there's my answer, negative 3, positive 3. I'm going to put those numbers in parentheses. Make sure my thing is equal to 0. And there's my answer, y'all. That's all that we did on day 1. Basics. over and over again, same steps over and over again.